But first, I know there is plenty to be alert, if not alarmed about. But if you don't mind, let me just share one more thing to worry about that can be slated home directly to the Biden administration's deliberate incompetence. The southern border. And specifically, the threat that as thousands of migrants stream across into the United States every single day, that there are terrorists potentially in their midst. Now, last week, immigration reporter Jenny Taylor gave us an exclusive look at how worried Homeland Security officials were about the potential for people connected to Hamas or Hezbollah or Islamic Jihad or any of a number of other dangerous outfits to sneak across. To do what? Well, you can only imagine. Now, though, we are starting to get a look at just how bad this problem actually could be. Figures released this week show how many people on the terror watch list have been arrested at the southern border. And remember, these are just the ones the authorities know about. Let's go through the numbers year by year. In 2019, 0 arrests. In 2020, 3 arrests. In 2021, 15. 2022, 98. And in fiscal year 2023, authorities have arrested a whopping 163 people at the southern border on the terror watch list. And again, these are just the ones the authorities know about. And they are just a tiny fraction of the migrants coming up through the southern border from all over the world, as even the Australian ABC has been forced to acknowledge.
A 3,000 to 5,000 person caravan is heading to the United States, among them migrants from Cuba, Guatemala and Venezuela. But a different group are arriving at the US border in Mexico's north.
It's completely shocking to see all of these people here crossing from Central Asia, from China, from Turkey, from all over the world. It's very unusual for this area.
No matter the country of origin, facilities in the US are running out of room.
Now, this is, of course, insane and unsustainable. And the fact that people are coming all the way from Central Asia, someplace where there may be, as Donald Trump once famously put it, many fine people, but also a burgeoning terrorist threat, well, that's pretty alarming. Because 5 years ago, academics at the Wilson Center noted that terrorism was already becoming a major export from that region, Central Asia. They noted, quote, in 2017, citizens from the region were involved in high-profile terrorist attacks in New York, Stockholm, Istanbul, and St. Petersburg. By 2017, Russian speakers were thought to be the largest group of foreign fighters in Syria and Iraq, outnumbering those from the rest of the Middle East. Some recruits have risen to positions of authority within foreign terrorist organizations. Groups said to be active in this Central Asian region include Hizb ut-Tahrir, the Islamic Jihad Union, and of course the Taliban. Great stuff. And here's what's even better, or rather worse. According to the U.S. government's own Office of the Inspector General, border officials have released at least one terror suspect because their information systems didn't match up properly. This report released in June said that, quote, U.S. Customs and Border Protection apprehended and subsequently released a migrant without providing information requested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Terrorist Screening Center that would have confirmed the migrant was a positive match with the terrorist screening data set, or watch list, unquote. Now again, I don't want to alarm anybody, but given that we are now in a new era, and Hamas has vowed to hit Israel again and again and again with October 7-style attacks, it is not hard to imagine that others, be they lone wolves or more organized, will be planning their own mayhem in countries like Australia and the United States. This week, the Iranian Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian threatened America. Addressing U.S. officials, he said specifically, quote, if the genocide in Gaza continues, they will not be spared from this fire, he said, referring to the U.S. Add that to the other problems caused by America's essentially open border, which is now costing cities like New York City $2 billion this year alone to deal with the crisis. Now, of course, since the Democrats won office in 2020, they have been telling an entirely different story. That the border is under control, that everything is fine, and that there's nothing to worry about.
It sounds to most folks like a crisis.
Well, look, it's way down now. We've now gotten control.
Precisely that. The border is closed.
Nor could I have been clearer and continue to be so, which is the border is closed.
The United States will continue to enforce our laws and secure our border.
The border, we are working to make the border more secure.
You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We agree that the border is secure.
Well, as I'm fond of saying, sure, I believe you guys. Millions wouldn't. And let's hope I am not proved tragically right.